Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Q&A about my new farm. I've got a fair few questions. Don't know if I can answer them all, but I'll give it a crack. So, one of the questions is, how big is your farm, or where is it? My farm's actually in Nearham South. I'm going to tell you the exact location, but that's fair enough. The farm's about 200 acres, but only about 150 is farmable, because about 50 acres is bush. What's the next question? Next question is, how many cows? I've got about 110 cows. I own all the cows on the farm, so I've got 110 cows, about 80 young stock from 12 months to springing, and then I've got about 13 bobby calves on the bucket or milk at the feeder at the moment. Next question. Oh, did COVID affect me? No, COVID has not affected us much in Australia, especially me as a primary producer, so it's just been normal day-to-day operations. It's made it a lot harder sourcing stuff, because literally Australia's already isolated from the rest of the world, so getting stuff that we need has been kind of a joke. So normally something that would take a week or two, it's taken 6 or 8 weeks, so it's just made us think a lot more about what we're doing. Apart from that, yeah, COVID really hasn't affected us. It affected our workforce, because we rely heavily on backpackers, and obviously our borders have been closed to the rest of the world. They've just reopened to Australian travellers, but our borders are still closed to the rest of the world for like the last 19 months. So we're struggling for backpacker workforce. What type of tractor do I drive? I actually drive a Massey Ferguson 5710, I think it is. Yeah, 5710. It's 100 horsepower. It's about nearly 3-year-old. Good little tractor. It's just a basic, simple tractor. Does what I want. And yeah, no complaints on that one. What's your lowest point mentally as a farmer? That's a tough one, because you're working with so many variables that you actually physically can't control, so you're just trying to make the best of every situation. I've had a few low points this year, just literally because I am semi-social butterfly, so I do like going out and having a drink and that, and I've struggled with that because obviously the pubs and that haven't been opened, and it just enables you to switch off in that, because obviously farming's a 24/7 job. You're always on. Apart from that, I'm a pretty positive person, so generally don't get dragged around down too much. Next, how many people work on your farm? It's just predominantly me. I do get help a little bit from my parents who own the farm, which is obviously my share farmers. But pretty much I've set it up as a one-person operation, literally just for labour convenience. It's a skill shortage here drastically. Our dairy farmers are rich. That's a tough one, depending on the season and depending on the milk price. It's a year-by-year thing, but most of the time, depending on what stage, how well set you are. Depending on how well set up you are, you can make a little bit of bank. But most of the time farmers are cash poor and asset rich. Next question. Next question. Do cows like being milked? I think so. Nah, I'm pretty positive. My girls sort of walk into the shed by themselves, so I think they're quite happy getting milked. I guess we have a trade system. They give me milk, I give them grain, and cows are lazy creatures, so they're going to go for the easiest feed first. So I think that's a fair trade. Probably going to get strife for that answer, but anyway. Who's your favourite cow? I've got a couple favourite cows. Probably 3 jump to my mind. It's 107. She's always up for a bit of a scratch. 1065. She's just another one that likes a little bit of scratch. And then 1043. She's actually one that we actually had a major was it shoulder operation on her. She actually tore her whole shoulder apart, like had a cut the size of my hand in a thing, and you could fit your whole fist in there. I don't know how she done it, but we had to do about 2 or 3 layers of stitches through it, and she's come good, and she's not keen on going into a crush, but the rest of the time she's up for a bit of a scratch and talk. So I think, yeah, she's probably one of my favorites, and she does pretty good in production too. What do cows eat? Predominantly in Australia, cows are a pasture-based system, so mostly ryegrass, clover, and depending on what crops you put in. My cows at the moment of filming this, they're predominantly on a pasture base, so they're getting 4 kilos of grain, 60% of it's barley and 20% of that's maize, and then the rest of it's just a bit like canola and stuff like that, and then the predominantly the pasture to fill the rest of the diet. So that's what my cows are getting at the moment, as we're probably doing silage next week. In a few weeks after that, depending on the weather, it could change as we go, but I can't guess. We're just playing the seasons here. I'm pretty wet, so I'll be right for a while. Next question. What season am I heading to? Well, here in Australia, we're actually opposite to Northern Hemisphere, so we're actually heading into summer. So it's summer next month. That's why we're getting into silage. Thinking, yeah, silage and bushfires. Yay! Well, going on that, next question. Do droughts affect dairy farmers? Yes, they do. I'm not irrigated here, so I'm dry land, so I rely on the rain. If I don't have rain, I don't have grass. If I don't have grass, I don't have feed for the cows. So yes, drought does affect it. I'm in a good area of the country. We get rain pretty much most of the time, so fingers crossed, I'm pretty safe. And I guess we'll finish up this quick little video of the Q&A. What's the most rewarding thing about being a farmer? I guess I just like the variety. Yeah, I don't think I could do a sit-in office job. Like, I always like trying to problem solve, thinking on my feet, and this is probably one of the best jobs to do that. I do have an abundance of energy, so I just asked my girlfriend if I'm sitting around the house to start climbing across the roof and stuff like that. So it's a good place for me to burn energy, because they are long days. So yeah, yeah, it just being outside. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you liked that video, pop some more questions in. I'll answer them in the comments. I'll see you in the comments. Other than that, we'll see you in the next video.